Hi guys, this is Mrs. Tucker. Today I'm gonna help you develop an understanding about scientific notation. And we're gonna start that by talking about powers of 10. I have given you each a little template to take notes on. So if you'll take out the first one that looks like this, we'll get started. Okay, it says let's start from the beginning, follow the patterns in the next couple of slides. Here's the first template that I want you guys to get out. Looks like this. It says powers of 10, positive and negative exponents. It's the one that just has different powers of 10 off to the side here. I've got it partially filled in for you. I'm going to help you fill in the rest. Okay, so let me grab a pen here. And let me make it a blue pen. All right, let's start off with something we know. Let's start off right here. 10 to the second power. You guys know that 10 to the second power means 10 times 10. That's what it means. That's called expanded form. And then when you multiply it out, then you've got what we call standard form. So 10 times 10 is 100. All right, let's jump down to 10 to the third. 10 to the third means 10 times 10 times 10. If you multiply that out, you get 1,000. Okay, well, we're following the pattern here. We went 10 to the first, 10 to the second, 10 to the third. What goes here? Yep, 10 to the fourth. 10 to the fourth means 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. That exponent tells you how many times your base of 10 is being multiplied by itself. It's being multiplied by itself 4 times. When you multiply this all out, you get 10,000. All right, here we've got 10 to the fifth, which means 10. We're going to multiply 10 by itself 5 times. 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And when you multiply those all out, you get 100,000. Alrighty? Now, let's stop there and we're going to work backwards. I want you guys to notice that if you take 100,000 and divide it by 10, you get 10,000. If you take 10,000 and we're going to put this in here, divide it by 10, you get 1,000. If you take 1,000 and divide it by 10, you get to 100. Well, we're going to continue to follow that pattern. Let's take 100, divide it by 10, and you get what? Yeah, you get 10. So 10 to the first power, if you're following this pattern backwards, it's just 10. And I think that makes sense. You've only got 10 showing up once. So that makes sense. If you're following this pattern over here on your powers of 10 backwards, 10 to the 5, 10 to the 4, 10 to the 3, 10 to the 2, 10 to the 1, we get 10 to the 0 power. All right, if we follow this pattern backwards, if we take if we take 10, I'm following the pattern backwards, and dividing it by 10, 10 divided by 10 gives you 1. Did you know that 10 to the 0 power equals 1? Let's put that in there. Okay, we're following this pattern and we're missing the 0. All right, well 10 to the 0 power is 1. That's one thing that we need to know is any number to the 0 power is 1. I'll show you that in another slide. Let's follow this pattern backwards. I'm going to take 1 and divide it by 10. When you do that, you get 1/10. And in decimal form, 1/10 is 0.1. We've got 10 to the negative 1 power right here. I want to tell you guys that that's actually 1 over 10 to the positive 1 power, which is the same as 1 over 10. Write that in your chart. I'm in fact going to make this red so you guys can see that's a positive 1 power there. Okay, we're going to follow the pattern backwards now. We're once again going to divide by 10. When you divide by 10, if you take this number and divide by 10, you get 0.01, which is 1/100th. Right here I've got 1/100th. It's the same, isn't 100 the same as 10 to the second power? Well, if you're following this pattern backwards, this is 10 to the negative 2 power. And what I'm wanting to point out here is 10 to the negative 2 power is actually 1 over 10 to the positive 2 power, which gives you 1 over 100, or 0.01. Okay, I'm going to have to finish this up in part 2. See you guys in part 2.